Online at perfectduluthday.com.
The Minnesota Ballet goes goth. Vibrant art from Adam Swanson and live music all the way from Sparta. Check out the playlist tonight.
Funding for the playlist is provided by the citizens of Minnesota through the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund.
We've got a great show for you tonight, starting with a fresh combination of musical talent. Please welcome from Sparta, Minnesota, Junkboat. There's more music and a delightfully dark ballet right after this.
The waves of in and exhalation on Dream Shore pulled up my boat.
My name is Sheila Packa, and I'm the editor of a brand new collection of writing from 75 writers in the Lake Superior and Arrowhead region. The book is called Migrations because it echoes the bird migration that's happening at this time of year and contains writing about changes in life. And some of those are migrations for people, and some of them are events like having a baby or leaving a job or losing a loved one. So it's a really fine and wide-ranging collection. We are going to do readings, and we'll have publicity beforehand. You can also go to my website and find it on my blog.
It's a wickedly dark portrayal of a classic Gothic tale. The Minnesota Ballet's production of Dracula is packed with drama. Robert Gardner and Reinhard von Rabineau are here to tell us more about it. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
Nice to see you. Okay, Robert, artistic director and the choreographer of
Yes,
Dracula.
yeah.
Okay, so what do you want us to get out of this? Are you going to scare the heck out of us?
Maybe not the heck, but we'd like to get a little raise the hair on the, on the back of your arms, and but I am a lyrical choreographer, a ballet choreographer, and so I had a little bit of a. Took me a couple years to decide whether to do this ballet or not. So I had to have the right group.
And are you staging it scary?
It's more like like a graphic novel. A friend of mine gave me some comic books of Dracula, and I'm also a big fan of Edward Gorey, who's an illustrator who does it's very dark and gothic, but has a sort of wry humor to it. And there's not a lot of humor in it, I guess.
Okay, Reinhard. I mean, this is gothic. It's dark.
Yes.
What's it like to dance that?
It's a lot of fun. It's definitely a different look for the company, I think. We have to find a new element in our dancing, I think.
And is it tricky? I mean, is it rehearsal, rehearsal, rehearsal?
Yes. Well, a lot of new dancers, a lot of new faces. So learning everybody's name, we're having to learn a lot of new choreography too.
Yeah.
Well, steep learning curve, but very cool. And you know what? We had a chance to step into the rehearsal of Dracula in the rehearsal studio. And so we're going to take a look at that and continue our conversation.
Thank you.
Let's check it out.
There's a lot of acting, no speaking obviously because it's ballet, and then a lot of dance, a lot of difficult dance. It just had to be animalistic and full out. The men have to portray wolves. Some of the lifting that Dracula has to do. This is a ballet. It's artful, it's lyrical, it's classical, but it's scary and dark at the same time. Yeah, it's a challenge, but it's been really great to stretch myself and my artist, the artist of the Minnesota Ballet, dramatically as well as technically.
Reinhard, what's the hardest part for you? What's the most challenging?
I think the most challenging is trying to keep your character without breathing too heavily. There's a lot of getting beat up in the first act.
Especially this character.
Yeah. Well, that's what's amazing to me about ballet is it's really hard work, but you can't show it generally.
Yeah.
And this is very, driven by the story. It's loosely based on Bram Stoker's, Gothic novel Dracula. So there's a lot of storyline and plot to follow. And they have to dance, but continue, like you said, their character and deal with a lot of storyline.
So give me the cliff notes of Dracula.
Okay, so Jonathan Harker is a lawyer that's gone to Transylvania for this mysterious count who wants to move to London. Little does he know to move to London to find victims. And he's entrapped there, attacked by wolves initially, and then he's attacked by the vampire brides of Dracula. He escapes and goes back to London, but Dracula has gone back to London and starts attacking first Lucy, who is a friend of his, and she gets turned into a vampire and rises from the grave. So that's a little creepy, a little scary. And then his bride, Mina, who reminds him of his former bride from hundreds of years ago. And the big thing is all the men have to save them. I actually play Van Helsing. He's the oldest one, so that's the one I got to play.
Well, it's definitely not a Cinderella type
Not
story.
at all.
It's a way different
We're really
take.
stretching our dancers, to do these different roles. Reinhardt does get beat up a lot.
Yeah. And what role do you play?
I play Jonathan Harker.
Okay. So you have to fend them off artfully.
Yes, attempt to.
Yeah. And does it tap into a different part of your training? I mean, I don't know if you're a ballet dancer. Do you also have training in other genres, modern dance and other traditions?
Well, we do through the repertoire that we do. I don't know, and Reinhardt, has studied, at different places, and I'm sure he's taken.
Yeah, it's. I think for this one, it's the style is generally, it's all there. It's a lot of Robert's choreography. But keeping the characters going is definitely the new part for everybody, I think.
You can segue into opera next. All you have to do is develop that part of it. So when is it staged? When can we go see it?
October 21st and 22nd at Symphony Hall at the Deck, 2 nights only, and it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a great kickoff to the Halloween season. We're real excited about it. The sets are phenomenal by Ann Gumper in the style of this illustrative style, which is very different from us, which Reinhardt referred to. And
the music
costumes.
is really powerful too.
That was a challenge. There had to be some Beethoven because I needed that organ music. And there's some Janáček and some Bela Bartók, because I looked in Eastern European composers, but there's a little bit of Saint-Saëns and Franz Liszt, and anything dark and scary that I could find, I figured out a way to put it together to create these different moments in the ballet.
Well, thank you both for coming in and telling us about it. I really look forward to seeing it. I've been telling everybody about it. This is really cool. It's really cool. Well, Dracula will be staged at the Deck Symphony Hall Friday and Saturday, October 21st and 22nd. Shows start at 7 o'clock. So symbols of human ingenuity, fragility, and arrogance are themes in Adam Swanson's work. His paintings vibrate with passion and a surprising juxtaposition of familiar images.
I've always ridden bikes, I've been living in Duluth on this humongous hill. The first time I painted a bicycle was because I thought it was an exercise, because they are really complicated, and I thought, if I can paint a bike, well, I will probably be a good painter. I kind of thought that.
We saw Adam and we saw just the excitement and passion in his work. I mean, you can see it when you look at it. It's just vibrating. I mean, the brush strokes themselves are vibrating, and so it has just this energy that calls to you and sort of gets you going.
For me, it's just having a lot of different things to work on. If I was just working on this and just one painting and trying to make it a perfect painting, I would definitely feel very constricted. That's, I think, how I stay free. I have all kinds of different paintings that I like to do. Yeah, it's like, see, you can almost just never stop. I mean, I really like blurring the edges of all the lines, and that's one thing that I can get really caught up in, sort of, like just going back in here and back and forth, and almost sort of make it look a little blurry, even when you're just looking at it with open eyes. I mostly am just painting for myself. I feel like this is the thing that I'm best at. If I want to do something, kind of with my life in general even, I think this is it. I love it. I love painting, and so I think my ideas are pretty good, and they're not groundbreaking or anything, but they're ideas, and I have a lot of them, and that's why I paint. now with, my son, and, it's nice to think that I make something that, he might think is cool someday. Hey, Jasper. I like pairing, animals together that maybe normally aren't together. I feel like it kind of makes people look twice at the painting. If it was just a picture of a goat in a pasture, or a blue heron, or people might just think, oh, it's a nice scene, and then not really give it much thought. But as soon as you, put a couple animals in, there's more connections that people can make.
It's really nice when an artwork doesn't necessarily spell out the narrative for you, but it introduces the players in that narrative and then lets you create this wonderful imaginative story behind it.
Things like this, I think there are a million meanings people could take from it. Could just be a nice, like, oh, my grandma had a goat and it looked exactly like that, and I loved him, and so I want this in my house or something. And that's great. I grew up with a goat, and I love that goat too. I would just like for people to be thoughtful and to look at my paintings, or look at anything, and take some time and think about it.
On the Shoulders of Giants, Adam's exhibit is up at the Duluth Art Institute now through October 23rd. Now, in the playlist gallery tonight is one of Adam's paintings. It's called The Other Side of the Lake, and Adam's work is also available at Lizard's Art Gallery here in Duluth. Now, there are lots of noteworthy arts and music opportunities out there, way too many to fit in this half hour. So check out the arts calendar on our website and links to dozens of resources. Just click on the playlistonline.org and feel free to send us your ideas while you're at it. And now please welcome back, with no further ado, Junkboat. guys have great energy. Thank you so much, Germaine Gemberling. Welcome to the playlist. Welcome back. I'm going to make you be the spokesperson. Will you introduce the rest of the band for me?
Well, we got Rich Mattson here, and plays guitar as well as helps arrange a lot of the music we co-write together. And David, our fabulous drummer from 250 miles away down in the cities, and Al Schroeter, who I've been making music with for quite a few years now, probably, over 5 now, and kind of all came together, and luckily through Rich's recording studio at Sparta Sound are able to make some sounds. And
so, okay, I'm going to put you on the spot. How would you describe this style? I think it's got great energy, but do you want to put a label on it or no?
Well, it's rock and roll music. I think it's kind of poppy, rocky, Americana-y, I guess. We have to.
A lot of influences.
We have to put some kind of label on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of different influences.
Yeah. Al's comment was we're all a combination of the experiences you had and the music you listened to.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fun. So where does the music come from? Who writes it?
I write the songs, and I present them to these guys who make them sound a lot better. And Rich has helped out a lot with arranging and the harmonies, of course. And these guys, my back line, very solid. The anchor of the Junkboat.
who can also play guitar and does, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about releases coming up or any music. What's your next gigs?
Our next show is at the 218 Bar in Virginia, and that's Friday, October 28th.
Okay.
Then we have a couple CD release shows. Friday, November 11th.
At
Pizza Luce.
Yeah.
And then November 12th in the Twin Cities at the Amsterdam Bar and Hall. That's in St. Paul.
Fantastic. So we have a chance to see you in person. Yeah. Very, very cool, and it's a shorter drive for you.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That's excellent.
At least one of them is.
Yeah. Look for that release around town. Look for it online, and you can check them out in person coming up soon. Thank you for watching the playlist tonight. Make sure you put some good things on your weekend planned, and remember to go out and support the arts. One more tune from Junkboat.
You got a mean way of talking. You got a mean way with words. You got a mean way of using nouns and verbs. Well, I'm bound to tell
the playlist is provided by the citizens of Minnesota through the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and by viewers like you.